Hey, want to do a video? Yeah, okay. Chicken barn's coming along. Not a whole lot of exterior changes over the last 2-3 weeks or so. Inside, not much change since the last video. What I ended up doing is securing this on the outside. I'm not going to do hinges. I'm just going to put it in place, and then that will be pulled out anytime I need to do it. But roosting boxes, doing well. On the outside, we're going to be putting the chicken coop or the chicken run right along in here. It's going to be 24 by 24. All right, starting on the dump side. Pulled a few cucumbers out of here. For the most part, not a whole lot of change. Weeds are absolutely taking over the potatoes. Pretty much the entire thing is engulfed in weeds. Zucchini are popping out like hotcakes. We have absolute tons. I've got tons in the house. I literally cannot get rid of them fast enough. And yeah, I can't get rid of them quick enough. Pumpkins are coming in. We've got 3 decent sized ones filling in. Tomatoes are starting to form. In here we have Roma as well as beefcake. Sunflowers, I've taken one sunflower down so far, pulled the seeds out. The rest of them are coming. And the corn's popping out. We're getting some ears here and there. There's a decent sized one. Cucumbers are absolutely overwhelming. I've given away buckets and buckets of cucumbers, and I can't keep up with picking them. So if you guys need cucumbers, please come get them. They are free. Green beans didn't really take off. Zucchini, ooh, that plant seems to be dying off. Not too sure what's going on with this. I don't know, but it's got huge zucchini on it that I gotta go pick. More and more cucumbers. Tomatoes are finally starting to come in, but we do have bugs. In fact, there's one right there eating it. So, figure out a good pesticide for next year, but this year was kind of just playing around, waiting for the romaine and all the other lettuce to go to seed. I'm going to be harvesting the seeds off them, waiting for these peppers to finally come in. It looks like we got something coming in down here. Down at the end, we got green onions and cilantro, which is, I learned that cilantro goes directly to coriander when it gets too hot out. All right, threw the cucumber and zucchini in with these guys. As soon as we get back from vacation, these guys will be slaughtered and thrown into bags and in the deep freezer. So these guys will be sticking around for just a few more weeks, and then they'll all be dinner. I've been moving their mobile coop around several times, and there seems to be some type of growth. I'm not too sure what that is. It kind of looks like some type of squash, but I'm not 100% sure. However, in the first spot that they were located in, we have corn. Lots of corn. All right, moving over to the aquaponic. The duckweed is coming in extremely well. My plan is to harvest this and then keep it going, and that's going to be food for the aquaponic once I start getting fish actually producing in them. I probably won't do fish until next year. Looks like some of my honeybees are going after the flowers. That's awesome. We'll go take a look at the hive here in a little bit. These are all the plants that are sitting in pots. These are, what are they? It's a tree my wife recommended. Some type of pineapple, mango, or something like that. We got serrano peppers coming in, bell peppers coming in. Although I'm expecting these to be runted just because they're growing in pots. They're not actually growing in the ground, so they're going to be limited in how big they can get. Went ahead and started some extra seeds. These will stay in pots depending on what they are. Over here it looks like we got watermelons, seems to be doing pretty well, as well as artichokes and beets. A couple cabbage coming in, not a whole lot out of this pile. I'm going to drain some of the water. We've had a lot of rain the last couple days, so these are both completely packed full of, well, this one is. So I'll get that drained here in a little bit. All right, got to give a shout out to our local feed store. They started doing bulk feed that seems pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with it thus far. The chickens are pretty happy with it. It smells really potent. It's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of smells good. So they seem to be doing a really good job. I'll see if I can post a link to them in the description, assuming I remember. Let's get that hooked. Got rocks in here that I don't know what I'm gonna do with yet. More lettuce and tomatoes. Kind of just letting to see if these guys will go to seed, and then when they do, I'll harvest the seeds for next year. But it's pretty much too hot for the lettuce at this point. I've picked it, and it's starting to get really bitter. Our alfalfa field, chickens love this. I try not to mow it too often, but every now and then I will go over it. I got them out free roaming right now. I pulled out all the cilantro in here. I have it in the garage hanging and drying. Plan on pulling coriander seeds off it to replant for next year. Got another pepper plant here. Can't tell if that's bell pepper or serranos or how it looks like a bell pepper right there. And then this tomato just fell over in the storm. It's been growing up against this wall. So we'll see if we can get some tomatoes off that. And then, not a big fan of the weed, but it's got a lot of flowers, so I've let it go. But eventually, as soon as the flowers die off, this weed will be ripped out. And then the blackberry that's here will take over. All right, inside the coop, just cleaned it out the other day, but we had a lot of rain, so it's pretty nasty right now. I got to get their waters cleaned out and refilled. I do have this trough that they're supposed to drink out of, which is fresh running water that comes out of the aquaponic system, gets filtered through the lettuce, but the little ones seem to not understand that concept. So somehow I got to figure out how to teach them, but they'll be moving here to the new coop soon. BBC, what's up, bud? Yep. He'll be breeding here in the next couple weeks. We'll start breeding again. And they love this first bed. They pretty much destroyed all the strawberries, but they love to nest over here for some reason. Not too sure why, but all the plants that I've tried to put there, they've absolutely butchered, and blackberries seem to be taking over. So at this point, I'm just letting them do whatever. Asparagus is, I'm to the point where I think next year I can come through and harvest it, but these spears taste absolutely amazing. Artichokes, haven't seen any artichoke hearts coming out yet, or flowers coming out yet, but they are growing in size. And then we got peppers and tomatoes popping out as well. But this vine is absolutely everywhere. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I can't get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I keep ripping it out every chance I get because it just crawls up everything and tries to suffocate every plant that I have, but I'll keep fighting it. If somebody knows how to get rid of it, I'm all ears. Over here, sweet potatoes coming in. Looks like we got a weed growing in there. I'll rip that here out. But sweet potatoes are doing their thing. Trying to be quiet coming up, see if we can see any frogs or snakes, but I don't see any today. My mosquito fish have definitely bred. There are tons of little ones in the pond, so they're definitely keeping the mosquito population at bay. These flowers, which I thought might have been sunflowers, I don't think are anymore, but they're getting huge. I'm 6'3", and this thing it's tall. Like it's a big plant. Alfalfa is taking over, as well as we have the blueberry bushes over there. There's a lavender, there's several bulbs, and it looks like we got a flower coming in. Oop, stepping in the ant pile. That's a pretty cool looking flower. And then we have Nepales growing in as well, but I don't see any of it. It's all buried in the alfalfa at the moment. Lavender, I'm hoping the lavender takes off a little bit better, but we'll see. Hazel's enjoying the shade. See if we can get a look at the bees without getting stung. Would be pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a better angle from over here. It's probably going to be our best angle right there. Bees are doing well. I'll give them a couple weeks and then I'll trim back a path to them and see if I can get to them. But I'm kind of letting this just go crazy, and it's kind of giving them shelter and protection from the wind. But they've been buzzing around, keeping busy. Under the tree, we've got bunch of weeds coming in, which I don't have a problem with, but the intent is to get these blackberries to take over. I've got them planted on a couple different sides. We'll see if they cut the ones over here come back. I know there's one coming in down here. Yep, there he is. So not a big plant, but hopefully he'll stick around and expand, get some roots established, and the alfalfa should help put nitrogen back into the soil to help them grow in future years. But this is our tree. See, more of that vine. It's just absolutely everywhere. I don't know how to get rid of it. But all right, we'll go take a look at the roses. All right, daughter's roses are coming in. Pretty cool looking. Got some red roses growing in here. This, on the other hand, has been pretty manageable. Still don't want any vines because they just take over, but I believe that's wisteria. But pretty cool looking red roses. Well, I think that's about it for today. I'm going to go put the chickens away and then call it a day. Thanks for watching.